Assalamu alaikum. So we are starting with today's lecture. I am going to share my screen with all of you. I think everyone has joined. Okay. So we'll start with the topic. Yesterday we studied something about materials and metallurgy module 1. What we covered yesterday was we knew that there were 4 types of content in this module. First was related to material classification. Second was related to the concept of crystals. The third was related to what are the defects in the crystals, and fourth one was related to how do you make the material, that how do you make that crystal hard, or how do you make your material hard by doing some kind of a cold working or recrystallization and annealing, what you also call it as strain hardening. Okay, so yesterday I think we completed this topic about how do you introduce the engineering material. We completed it via OneNote, okay, by using some scribble pad. So today what we are going to do is we are going to go in more detail about engineering material. So I think everyone knows how to classify a material. Okay, we can go about classifying the material. You can see here we can classify the material, like I will annotate, but I need to stop your annotation. Okay, so what we can do about classification of material, we know one of the classification is metals and alloys. Engineering material classification, not metal classification. We are talking about material classification. So one is metal and alloys, second one is non-metal, third one is ceramic, fourth one is polymer, and fifth one is composite. These are all the class of materials. Okay, these are the class of materials that we are going to go into detail for classifying the engineering material. So first one is for us is metals, and in metals come the class alloy. Second one is non-metal. We have also heard about ceramic. Okay, we have heard about ceramic, we have heard about polymer, and we have also heard about composite. So now we know that metal and alloys can be classified into 2 types. First one is ferrous. Ferrous matlab something which is getting rusted, okay, which is getting corroded. Those materials are called as ferrous material. Some materials are non-ferrous material. Okay, what is the difference between ferrous and non-ferrous material? Ferrous material are abundantly available in nature. Non-ferrous materials are also available in nature, but they are not as abundantly available as ferrous material, and the process of extraction of this material is very costly. Okay, like if you want to extract the steel, or if you want to extract iron or a form of alloy of iron which is steel, it is very cheap. But if you want to extract aluminium, copper, zinc, you know about gold, if you want to extract gold from the gold mines, it is very costly. So non-ferrous materials extraction is also costly, and those materials are also costly because of the way they are extracted, and they are not readily they are not that much available in the market as compared to, or they are not that much readily available in the nature also. So that's why these materials are costly, non-ferrous. Next, we can go to non-metal. We are just going into brief. Okay, we are not completing everything. We are just briefing the content for ourselves. Okay, the second type that I am looking to explain you is, just give me a second. Yeah, the second type you can see here, this is non-metal. Non-metals can be of 3 types. One is gases. Matlab, it can be in solid state, it can be in liquid state, or it can be in gaseous state. You can see the types of non-metal. You have heard about hydrogen. It is a gaseous, it is in gaseous state, and it is a non-metal. You have heard about bromine. You have heard it in your previous standards, like in 9th and 10th also you have heard about bromine. I think in 9th or 10th standard we also conducted, and even in 11th and 12th, we conduct experiments on bromine liquid. Okay, so bromine is nothing but a class of non-metal from engineering material. Then you know about solids. What are the types of solid material? You have heard about copper, phosphorus, magnesium, thick as silicon, iodine. You have heard about all these materials. Okay, so these are nothing but, these materials are these are non-metals. So we can move forward and we can go to this class. You can see this class. I'd like to use some another color. You can see this class, ceramic. Ceramic is nothing but it is a mixture. It is a compound. Ceramic and composites are 2 different things. Composite is reinforcement. We are in reinforcing something upon another thing. We are reinforcing two layers, then that is called as composites. Ceramic is a compound. Okay, I would like to clear it for you. Ceramic is nothing but a compound. Compound of what? It can be a compound of metal and non-metal. It can be a compound of metal and oxides. It can be a compound of non-metal and oxides, or it can even be a compound of, it can be even natural material. Like diamond is a ceramic. It is naturally available in the nature. Silicon carbide, this part, you know, silicon is metal and this carbide is non-metal. You can look at this is nothing but, this is metal and this is oxides. So oxides of metal, or metal and non-metal together, or naturally available ceramics are the types of ceramics that are available in the market. Third, we can go to polymers. Okay, what are the different types of polymers? Again, you have heard about polymers. For polymers, you might have heard about plastic. Plastic is a class of polymer. It is not itself a polymer. Polymer are having many other things, like there are natural polymers also and there are artificial polymers also, man-made polymers. So natural polymers, we can see wood and silk. In man-made polymer, you have heard about polyethylene, PVC, nylon, bakelite. These are used for packaging and also for other stuff, because these are all plastic materials. Okay. Next, we can go to composites. Composites are also natural and they are also man-made. Like concrete is man-made. Fiber glasses that we are getting, fiber is nothing but something which is nano size, which is having nano sizes. Okay, those particles, those lines, fiber can be in different shapes, but we know what do you mean by fiber. Fiber are nothing but longitudinal thin size wires, you can say. These are nothing but fibers. So you know about fiber glasses. Right now what we are manufacturing in glass is fiber kind of glass. Then I think you have heard about CFRP and GFRP in chemistry. CFRP is carbon fiber reinforced plastic. You are reinforcing carbon in through the plastic. That's why it is called as CFRP. And second one is GFRP, glass fiber reinforced plastic. And I think you might have also heard about its application. This is used in military application or marine application. Okay. Okay, CFRP and GFRP. So I hope all of you are clear about what are the different types of engineering material. Can anyone classify it for me? I would like someone to classify it for me. 19ME06. Hello. 19ME06. Hello. This is the place where I am it is taking a lot of time. I want to interact with you, but I don't feel people are ready to interact. Tanveer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you classify the materials for me? General classification.
Uh, Engineering materials, sir.
Engineering material. Just classify it for me.
Metals and alloys
Okay.
and non-metals.
Okay. Something more?
In metals and alloys,
No, no.
ferrous
More
and non-ferrous.
materials, engineering materials. Ceramic is also an engineering material.
Sorry.
And more things, more engineering materials. Can you classify? Metal alloys, ceramics, non-metals. Then you can see it in your screen also. Polymers and
Polymers and composites.
very nice, very nice. Please mute yourself. Thank you. Okay, so these are different types of classification of engineering materials. Okay, we can proceed now. We can proceed with the next slide. Yeah. How do you define a metal? I think everyone has seen these kinds of metal. They are hollow shape. Okay. I hope everyone sees this. Just look at the figure. Don't look at the detail. Okay. You know, these are hollow shape pipes. Okay. These are rods. Okay. Square shape rods. These are also, these are solid rods. Okay. You have also seen these kinds of channels. Okay. You have seen all these materials, pipe materials. Okay. So you know all these are nothing but metals. Okay. If I suppose all these are metals, I assume this to be a metal. It can be mild steel, it can be carbon steel, it can be plain carbon, low carbon, high carbon, any carbon steel. Okay. So if I want to define a metal, how do you define a metal? That is very important. I'd like to go forward. There is no general definition. First thing is, there is no general definition. Okay. you can't define a material. You can define its properties. If you want to define any material, you can't define it. What you can define are the properties of material. Okay, if you want to define any material, like if I want to define metal, how can I define it? By virtue of its property. And how do we know what are the properties? We test it. How do we test it? We test it against a standard. Suppose in market we already have a metal. Suppose I have a standard of steel. I know what is the strength of steel, what is the hardness of steel. All these values I already know, and I want to test some kind of a composite. Okay, I want to know. So what I will do, I will use the same standard as that of the steel, and I would like to know different values. So sorry, I would like to know, one second. Yeah, I would like to know different values of composite, like what is the hardness of this composite, what is the tensile strength of this composite, what is the compressive strength of this composite. Okay, if I want to know all this parameter, what I am trying to know, what are the properties of this composites. So how will I know this property is good or bad? By testing it against a standard. Okay, so we set a standard. Okay, we test the material against a standard, we measure it. How do we measure it? Again, we measure it against a standard. We try to quantify it. Quantify matlab we try to give it some kind of a value. Okay, in terms of value we try to quantify. Matlab we test, we measure, we quantify, and then we compare it against a standard. Okay, and after comparing it against a standard, we try to classify it. Suppose there is a composite which is having as good strength as steel, then we will try to classify it in the class of steel. Rather than classifying it in the class of plastic, I will try to classify it in the class of steel. But if there is some composite which is having very good, like you can say elasticity, if it is having very good elasticity, so I will try to classify it in the class of rubbers. Okay, like in the class of polymers. That will be a composite, but I will classify it in the class of polymers rather than classifying it in the class of steel, because I know that steel are not having that much elasticity as compared to rubber. So if some material that I have identified myself, okay, I have identified myself that that material is very good in terms of elasticity, and that is in the class of rubber, I will classify it in the class of rubber. So what are the things that I would want from you to know from this slide? First thing that you can know is there is no general definition. What do? We try to know the properties of material. Okay, we know the properties, then we to knowing the property, we test it, we measure it. After measuring, what do? We compare it against the standard, and after comparing, we can classify it. Okay, so these are the basic steps to define any kind of material, even if it is a metal or it is a non-metal. This is the way you go about classifying or defining a material or metal. Okay, we can go. What are the properties? I have already told. How do you classify the metal? You don't classify it on general definition, you classify it based on the properties. So what is the first property? You can see all these different kinds of material here. You can see all different kinds of material. Okay, there is aluminium here, then there is cast iron here, then this is the brass. You know the color of brass is gold like color. Okay, then this is steel, this is copper. You have also seen copper bottles, you might have seen. This is metal sludge, matlab metal remains. Okay, this is bronze, you can see this one is bronze. Okay, so if I want to classify, or if I want to classify material, I will classify it based on its property. So first part, that is there anyone who wants to ask something? Please put it in the chat, Arif. Arif, if you want to ask something, put it in the chat. I am ready to answer. Put it in the chat box. Okay, so put it in the chat box if you want to get some answer. Okay, cast iron. Cast iron is a class of iron only. Like steel is a class of iron, cast iron is also a class of iron. What is the difference between steel and cast iron? Difference between steel and cast iron is nothing but carbon percentage, weight percent of carbon or atomic percent. If this value varies, okay, you get different types of iron class. Like steel, it is having carbon percentage from some value to some value. Cast iron is having carbon percentage from some value to some value. If it goes beyond the value of carbon in cast iron, then that is classified as graphite. Okay, If it exceeds the limit of carbon in the cast iron, then it classifies into graphite. So first we have steel, which is having low percentage of carbon. Then we have cast iron, which is having medium percentage of carbon. Then we have graphite, which is having very high percentage of carbon. If the carbon percentage is exceeding 6.67 weight%, okay, if it is exceeding 6.67 weight%, then we classify it into the class of graphite. If it is less than 6.67, we classify it in the class of cast iron. If it is below that range, matlab below cast iron and up to some range, we classify it in the class of steel. Okay, so I hope we can proceed now. Okay. Give me a second. Yeah. So, first, I would like to list down all the things about metals. First thing about metal, you know, there are two types of metals. One is anyone having any doubt? Sir, please give example of metal sludge. Beta, slurry, wastage. The extracts of metal sludge are not used anywhere. Okay, those are not used. That is only kept an example. Whatever is the slurry or the remains, when we process iron, we get many kinds of impurities from the steel. Okay, so that steel impurity is called as, or that metal impurity is called as metal sludge. Okay, so we can proceed with it. First is type. First type is, we know that there are two types of material. One is ferrous and non-ferrous. Okay, ferrous, and second is non-ferrous. Something about metal, you can say that metals are orderly arranged. What you can't say about non-metal is they are not orderly arranged. You are very sure about non-metals, they are non-orderly arranged. They are not having any order, they are randomly arranged. But with respect to metal, you know that they are orderly arranged. Then you also know that they are dense as compared to polymer like plastic, rubber, or even ceramic, or even non-metals. Okay, even non-metal class, you know that they are having good density. Okay, so how do you classify it? Based on the type, based on the order of arrangement, based on the density. Then you know that it can be drawn into sheets, which are called as malleability. Property of drawing something into sheet is called malleability. So steels are having good malleability. You also know that steels are having good luster. They are solid in nature. They are stiff matlab they are very rigid. They cannot be broken that easily. But still, even being rigid and they cannot be broken that easily, they are very ductile. Matlab you can elongate it into wire. You know about it. So they are ductile, yet they are stiff, but they are also ductile. Okay, that is ductile means, suppose I don't have something right now. Suppose this is my sheet, this is my metal. I am trying to elongate it. When I try to elongate, suppose if I try to elongate plastic, what will happen after some time? No. I would like to take an example of glass. Suppose this is a glass. What if I try to elongate it? Actually, this is a glass only. Mobile is nothing but, if I consider the front screen of mine, this is nothing but a glass. What if I try to elongate it? This will fracture without any deformation. I hope you're getting. This will deform without fracture. Sorry. It will directly deform and it will not fracture. Steel will not fracture. Okay. But if I consider this something as glass, what happens in glass? It does not deform, it directly fractures. I hope you're getting. Glass directly fractures. But what is good in steel? It does not fracture directly. First it deforms, and then it fractures after some limit. Okay, so this kind of materials are called as ductile materials. Those which are deforming first, then they are fracturing. What happens in the case of glass or ceramic? It directly fractures without any deformation. Okay, so these materials are stiff, matlab these are strong materials, and being strong, they are also very ductile, matlab they can deform and they do not fracture. Fracture is not a good thing. Any material that fractures is not considered to be a good material for engineering purposes, any engineering purpose. So if it is deforming without any fracture, those materials are called as ductile material. And we know about steel, that steel are ductile. Okay, then we also know about iron, copper, nickel. We know that they are having magnetic characteristics. Okay, These materials can be magnetic also in nature. So these materials, you know, iron in raw form is magnetic in nature. Okay, so these materials are magnetic also. They are having magnetic property. We also know that they are having good conductivity of heat, and they are good conductor of heat and electricity. I would like to classify heat and electricity to, these are two different terms. Electricity, how does we know that some material is electrically conducive? If there is flow of electrons, matlab if electrons can flow from one terminal to another terminal, suppose these are my electrons, and this electrons can flow from negative terminal to positive terminal. Okay, if they can flow from negative to positive terminal, what do we understand? That there is flow of electricity. Okay, and what do you mean by heat? Heat is like, if I suppose this is a plastic, I hope you can see this part. This is a plastic. Okay, what if I try to heat it? This will melt. But what if I try to heat a steel? We know the utensils that are used in our day-to-day appliances in our home, those are actually made of steel or some kind of a metal. What will happen if we try to heat it? Those materials do not get melt. So those materials which do not get melt and they can accommodate heat factor into themselves, those are called as good conductor of heat. And those who can get the electricity supply, those are called as good conductor of electricity. What do we use for electricity? As of now, semiconductors are used. Okay, okay, I hope you're getting. Can someone reply me in the chat box if they're getting what I'm trying to say? How will bronze get extracted? We will study it later. Okay, are you all getting what I'm trying to explain? Properties, just give me a message. Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you, thank you. We will proceed. Okay, so what we have studied till now: first is type, second is order arrangement, third is density, fourth is malleability, luster, solidness, then it is ductile, then those are metals are having good magnetic properties, those are good conductor of heat and electricity, both are different parameters. One more thing, they form oxides. When they form oxides, oxides matlab they react with oxygen, nascent matlab single atom of oxygen. Metals can react with oxygen. Okay, so if they react with oxygen, what do they form? They form oxides. Okay, like magnesium oxide, calcium oxide, you have heard about it, iron oxides. Okay, copper oxides, aluminium oxide, you have heard about Al2O3, bauxite, this is also an oxide. Okay, oxide of metal, which is aluminium oxide. So they can react with oxygen, nascent oxygen, and form oxides, respective oxides, which can be used for particular applications. Okay, we will learn about applications afterward. First we will move forward. We have studied about properties. Now first thing was we studied about basic property. Now we know properties can be classified into various types. First is mechanical property. I hope you're getting. Mechanical property will be related to for material. Suppose the class that I am considering is, one second, the class that I am considering is, suppose I am considering a metal. Okay, for metal, what will be the material property? It should have good tensile strength. Tensile matlab when we try to elongate it, it should not break. It can take the load, tensile load, in the axial outward direction. Those loads are called as tensile load. It can take compressive load, matlab it is having good compressive strength. Okay, I hope you're getting. Various values can be there for mechanical. Okay, it should be hard, it should be ductile. These are all mechanical properties. So first thing that we have considered is mechanical property. Second is chemical, electrical, thermal, magnetic, optical. I hope you're getting what I'm trying to explain. Okay, second I am writing it chemical. You know chemical affinity, like in steel we know that steel can get rusted. Okay, steel can get rusted, but you know about aluminium does not get rusted. Okay, so these are the chemical properties. Based on the type of chemical affinity, or based on the application where I am going to use, I will consider the selection of steel, or I will consider the selection of aluminium. Just put the question in the chat box, Imtiaz. If you have any question, put it in the chat box. कॉपर वायर यूज होता है ना? यस होता है बेटा. सेमीकंडक्टर कब से? हाँ, सेमीकंडक्टर बताया ना मैंने इलेक्ट्रिसिटी के लिए. स्टील रस्टेड होता है बेटा, होता है ना. स्टील में जंग नहीं लगता है. स्टील जंग लगता है ना स्टील पे. अब्दुल्ला, स्टील पे जंग. डोंट कम इनसाइड. अंदर बताओ. बंद करो, बंद करो. स्टील पे जंग लगता है या नहीं? अरे स्टेनलेस स्टील अलग होता है, मैं नॉर्मल स्टील की बात कर रहा हूँ. ओके, रस्ट होता है नॉर्मल स्टील. नहीं देखा घर में नॉर्मल स्टील पाइप्स? नहीं देखे पाइप पे जंग लगता है कि नहीं? ओके, वी कैन प्रोसीड. Third thing is electrical property. You know about electrical property. Material में semiconductors are there. There are some metals also which can conduct electricity. Okay. Then there is thermal property. Thermal is nothing but related to heat. The material which can take more heat will be will be having good thermal conductivity. Those who are taking less heat, those will be less thermal conductive. Okay. Then magnetic property, I have already told you about iron, then copper, then magnesium. These materials are having magnetic property. Optical property, like we can use it for lenses. Some materials can be used for lenses. Okay, those material will be having optical property. Those materials, the places where we need some kind of reflection or refraction to occur. I hope you are getting. Okay, if we want some kind of reflection or refraction to occur, so that suppose there is a light passing and I don't want my light to pass through this material. Okay, so what will I require from this material? This material should have reflective property, so that the whatever the light that is passing or whatever the sunlight that is passing, it should get reflect or refract. It depends upon what property do I want. For that nature, what do I need? I need optical characteristics. So based on the optical characteristics, I will select my material. Okay, I hope you understood this thing. We need to proceed. I have gathered many data for today and I think we need to complete it. Okay. So after considering various properties, okay, now we will go into detail with regard to mechanical properties. I will just list down all the mechanical property, and this mechanical property are actually in use when you learn about this topic. When you go for SOM, you might have heard how to calculate tensile strength. You will learn about it. So first property mechanical that we are going to learn is tensile strength. Second is ductility. Third one is brittleness. Fourth one is resilience. Then toughness. Then hardness. Then impact strength. Okay. So what do you mean by tensile strength? मतलब a material, resistance of a material. मतलब when I am putting this material under stress, and which kind of stress? Tensile stress. And this material is not breaking. Then it is said to have a good tensile strength. Like I have written here, mild steel. Mild steel or any class of steel are having good tensile strength. Okay. If this material is loaded under tensile force मतलब outward force from both the sides, and this material is not getting break. Okay, this material is not breaking. This kind of strength is called as tensile strength, and the stress is called as tensile stress. You can even put the word tensile stress, or you can even put the word tensile strength. Both means one and the same. Okay, you know the unit of stress. Stress is nothing but force upon area. So if I calculate force in Newton and area in meter, what will be the unit? Newton per meter square. So tensile stress and tensile strength both are nothing but one and the same value. Okay. Ductility, you know about ductility, something that can be drawn into thin wires without breaking. Very nice. Something which can be drawn into wires without breaking. Similar is for malleability, which can be drawn or which can be made into sheet without damaging. Okay, so something that can be drawn into long thin wires without breaking, those things are called as ductility. So one of the mechanical properties, material should have good tensile strength, material should have high ductility. Next, should it have low brittleness or high brittleness? Let me know in the chat. Should material have low brittleness or high brittleness? Should material have low brittleness or high? Very nice. Okay. So which class is better? Glass is having low brittleness or high brittleness? Glass. I am telling about material, glass material. Is glass having low or high brittleness? Very nice. High. Very nice. Thank you. So we know when we stress something, like I am applying some kind of stress, whether it is tensile strength or whether it is compressive strength or compressive stress. Okay? If something is breaking without deformation, what is the thing about glass? When we try to put some tensile strength into glass, the glass breaks without deformation. And what do you mean by deformation? Have you heard about the word strain? Just give me a second. I think every one of us have heard about strain. Strain is what? Change in dimension upon original dimension. It can be length, it can be diameter, it can be height, anything. तो change in dimension upon original dimension is what? Strain. So you know that glass will have zero strain. Why it will have zero strain? Because there is no change in dimension in glass. It directly breaks. Okay. So some material which breaks without strain are having high brittleness. Okay. And material when stressed breaks without significant deformation. Matlab, should material have low brittleness or high brittleness mechanically? It should have low brittleness. Okay. So to have low brittleness, what is the condition? It should have high strain. If it can induce strain matlab it can deform. The deformation part is nothing but we know something which is getting deformed, matlab there is change in dimension or change in length or change in area or change in diameter. If there is some kind of change in dimension per original dimension, that means that there is strain induced. So if there is no change in dimension, if it is zero, strain will be zero. So if the material is having minimum strain, it will have high brittleness. If the material is having maximum strain, if it can carry maximum strain, what does it indicate? What does it indicate? Tell me in the chat. If the material is having maximum strain, what does it indicate? Low or high brittleness? Very nice. Low brittleness. Okay. Very nice. So we can proceed. If the material is having maximum strain induced, then that material is having low brittleness. So regarding mechanical, when we consider mechanical property, the material should have low brittleness. So we have already studied three things. First is good tensile strength, high ductility, low brittleness, resilience. This is another thing. You know, some materials like rubber, when we elongate it, it gets back to its normal shape, matlab like a spring. Okay. So material should have good resilience. If the material is having good resilience, that material will have good mechanical property. Okay. So what can we consider? That material should have good resilience. We are considering all this thing: good tensile strength, high ductility, low brittleness, good resilience with respect to an ideal material, ideal mechanical material. Okay. Ideal material which is mechanically very good in property. Okay. So for a good ideal material, resilience is ability of a material to get back into shape after application of load. Suppose I am trying to compress something and I am trying to elongate something and it gets back to its original form without loss of its shape. Okay, that kind of property is called as elasticity, and in general term it is called as resilience of the material, like in rubber and nylon. So if we want to have an ideal material, it should have elasticity like rubber or nylon. Next, toughness and hardness. I would like to explain you this thing with regard to something like, suppose this is my mobile. Toughness and hardness are two different things. I like to explain you. I like to explain you in Hindi. Suppose करो मैंने एक चौक लिया, चौक, और मैंने उसको तेज से जमीन पे फेंक दिया, वो टूटेगा या नहीं? टूटेगा ना, बराबर? अगर मैंने एक चौक को तेज से जमीन पे फेंक दिया तो वो टूटेगा. ठीक है. तो अगर कोई मटेरियल टफ है तो वो टूटता नहीं. समझ रहा है क्या कह रहा हूँ? एक मटेरियल जब टफ रहता है तो वो टूटता नहीं है. तो अगर टफनेस की बात करें तो स्टील हो गया, कास्ट आयरन हो गया, ये काफी टफ मटेरियल होता है. समझ रहा है क्या कह रहा हूँ? आई होप यू गेटिंग. ये मटेरियल टफ होता है. बट अगर यही चीज मैं डायमंड के बारे में बोलूं, सपोज करो ये मेरा डायमंड है और ये मेरा स्टील है. जस्ट एज्यूम करो मैंने इसको तेज से जमीन पे फेंका विथ हाई अमाउंट ऑफ फोर्स. मैंने हाई फोर्स के साथ इसको फेंका. तो इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है? जब मैं डायमंड फेंकूंगा तो टूटेगा या नहीं? क्या टूटेगा, डायमंड टूटेगा या स्टील? व्हेन आई ट्राई टू थ्रो इट इन द ग्राउंड विद मैक्सिमम फोर्स, लेट मी नो इन द चैट. व्हिच विल ब्रेक, डायमंड और स्टील? व्हेन आई थ्रो समथिंग ऑन द ग्राउंड, if it is of diamond or steel type, which will break more? Diamond will break. So that means diamond has low toughness value. Diamond has low toughness value. I hope you are getting. Now consider the similar thing. Consider the similar thing. I am having two materials. One is steel, another is diamond. And this is my, suppose karo, this is my pin. This is the pin. What I am trying to do, I am trying to make an indentation. Indentation is nothing but creating a hole. मैं ऊपर से फोर्स अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ. मैं एकदम कस के ना यहाँ से फोर्स अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ और इस पे मैं ऐसे प्रेस कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है. जब मैं इस पे प्रेस करूंगा तो इंडेंट बनेगा या नहीं? इस पे शेप आएगा या नहीं? इसका जो शेप रहेगा इस पे आएगा या नहीं? सपोज करो मैंने 10 न्यूटन की फोर्स अप्लाई किया, डायमंड पे 10 न्यूटन की फोर्स अप्लाई किया और स्टील पे 10 न्यूटन की फोर्स अप्लाई किया. कौन सा ज्यादा इंडेंट क्रिएट करेगा? इंडेंट मतलब हॉलोनेस. किस पे इसका शेप ज्यादा अच्छे से आएगा? सेम अमाउंट ऑफ फोर्स पे, स्टील या डायमंड? थिंक अबाउट इट. डायमंड है और स्टील है, मैंने दोनों पे सेम अमाउंट ऑफ फोर्स अप्लाई किया, तो किस पे ज्यादा खड्डा बनेगा, होल किस पे ज्यादा अच्छा आएगा, स्टील या डायमंड? बेटा रॉन्ग है, डायमंड। सॉरी 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 सॉरी, स्टील, सॉरी स्टील। मतलब क्या है, डायमंड जो है वो हार्ड है, डायमंड क्या है, हार्ड है। तो हार्ड को जब मेजर करना रहता है ना बेटा, हार्ड को जब भी मेजर करना रहेगा तो हम मेजर करते हैं हार्ड को, हार्ड है बेटा, हार्ड को जब भी मेजर करना रहेगा वी विल मेजर इट विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू इंडेंटेशन। मतलब वी विल ट्राई टू अप्लाई सम फोर्स एंड वी विल सी with the same amount of force which material is getting more depth. If the material is getting more depth, then it is having low hardness, like steel will have low hardness, okay? But if it is getting less depth, then it is having high hardness, like diamond is having high hardness. So what is the good thing? Should the material, mechanical material, should it have low hardness or high hardness? हार्डनेस और टफनेस सिमिलर नहीं है, टफनेस मतलब फेंकने पे और हार्डनेस मतलब इंडेंट करने पे, ठीक है? तो मटेरियल शुड हैव हाई हार्डनेस, प्लीज गेट इट राइट। हार्डनेस हाई होना अच्छी बात है और टफनेस भी हाई होना अच्छी बात है, बट इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है, जब मैं स्टील कंसिडर करता हूं तो वो स्टील के बारे में टफ ज्यादा होता है, फेंकने पे वो ज्यादा एनर्जी, जो मटेरियल ज्यादा एनर्जी अब्सॉर्ब कर लेता है फ्रैक्चर होने से पहले। देखो इसका डेफिनेशन मैंने लिखा है, देखो यहाँ लिखा है, जो मटेरियल, द मटेरियल विच कैन एब्सॉर्ब मोर एनर्जी एंड प्लास्टिकली डिफॉर्म विदाउट फ्रैक्चरिंग। तो दिस मटेरियल व्हेन आई एम थ्रोइंग समथिंग, मतलब आई एम अप्लाइंग फोर्स, मतलब आई एम गिविंग सम एनर्जी and it can absorb energy, like cast iron can absorb more energy than steel, and steel can have more energy than diamond. So if it can absorb more energy and it doesn't get fracture, those materials are called as tough in nature. So diamond is not tough, it is hard. Steel is not hard, it is tough as compared to diamond. Okay, I hope you're getting. Last one is impact strength. I'm telling it about impact strength. Impact strength is like सडनली आई एम अप्लाइंग सम लोड। एक होता है ग्रेजुअली मैं लोड अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ, टेंसाइल स्ट्रेंथ। एक तो मैंने धड़ाक से कोई चीज आके इस पे मार दी, ठीक है, और मटेरियल उसको सस्टेन कर गया, तो उस टाइप के मटेरियल को बोलेंगे हाई इंपैक्ट स्ट्रेंथ। अगर मटेरियल डिफॉर्म नहीं हुआ हाई एप्लीकेशन ऑफ लोड पर, समझ रहा है क्या कह रहा हूँ? हाई एप्लीकेशन ऑफ लोड पे अगर मटेरियल डिफॉर्म नहीं हुआ तो वो मटेरियल को हम क्या बोलेंगे? इट इज हैविंग हाई इंपैक्ट स्ट्रेंथ। इंपैक्ट इज नथिंग बट, आई होप यू आर गेटिंग इंपैक्ट, हमने मैकेनिक्स में भी पढ़ा है, इंपैक्ट एंड कोलिजन में, समथिंग विच इज थर्डेड अपॉन, ओके, डायरेक्ट आके बैंग करके कोई हिट करता है, ओके। शारिक इज हैविंग सम क्वेश्चन, लेट मी टेक दैट क्वेश्चन। इज इट ओके? ओके, yeah, one more thing last. Toughness is ability to absorb, hardness is resistance to plastic deformation, indentation, ओके। और इंडेंटेशन को मेजर करने के लिए सॉम में एक सेटअप यूज करोगे जिसको हम बोलते हैं ब्रिनल हार्डनेस नंबर, या एक और टर्म है रॉकवेल हार्डनेस नंबर, प्लीज गेट इट राइट, ठीक है। हार्डनेस टेस्टर बोलते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं इसको? एक हार्डनेस टेस्टर यूज करते हैं जो क्या करता है, मटेरियल को इंडेंट करता है, मतलब स्टील ले लेते हैं, कॉपर ले लेते हैं, डायमंड ले लेते हैं, और हम उसको क्या करते हैं, इंडेंट करने की कोशिश करते हैं। ब्रास ले लेते हैं और देखते हैं कौन मटेरियल ज्यादा इंडेंट किया। जो मटेरियल ज्यादा इंडेंट करेगा, उसकी हार्डनेस लो रहेगी, और जो मटेरियल कम इंडेंट करेगा उसकी हार्डनेस क्या रहेगी? हाई रहेगी। आई होप यू आर गेटिंग। तो उसके लिए जो हम नंबर यूज करते हैं, कल भी बताया था आई थिंक, ब्रिनल हार्डनेस नंबर, ठीक है, ओके, ब्रिनल हार्डनेस नंबर, या एक और नाम क्या है, रॉकवेल हार्डनेस नंबर। डन। लास्ट वन इज इम्पैक्ट स्ट्रेंथ। इम्पैक्ट, थर्ड करके कोई चीज को बैंग करके छोड़ देना, मतलब ऊपर से लेकर आया, सपोज करो एक पेंडुलम है और एक मटेरियल है, ठीक है, मैंने ऐसे लाके पेंडुलम को डायरेक्ट स्ट्राइक कर दिया। पेंडुलम एक हैवी वेट पेंडुलम है, यहाँ से छोड़ा पेंडुलम जाके डायरेक्ट मटेरियल पे हिट किया, तो सडन लोड मैंने अप्लाई किया या नहीं, विथ हाई एनर्जी, ठीक है। तो वह उसके लिए जो हम टेस्ट यूज करते हैं ना, उसका नाम है आइजोट टेस्ट, और एक और नाम क्या है, 4P टेस्ट, ओके ओके। टू मेजर इम्पैक्ट स्ट्रेंथ व्हाट डू वी यूज आइजोट टेस्ट एज वेल एज 4P टेस्ट। आई होप यू आर गेटिंग, ठीक है। We have already completed the time, not an issue, we'll just see what is remaining from our side. Material tetrahedron, just let me know, let me explain you this thing and we are done. Material tetrahedron के बारे में थोड़ा सा देखिए, टेट्राहेड्रन है क्या, कल मैंने बताया था, फिर से एक बार बता देता हूँ, एक सेकेंड ना। देखो ये दिख रहा है आपको, दिस थिंग, 1 second, huh? 1 second, huh? ये देखो, पहली चीज मैंने कुछ चीजें लिखी है। टेट्राहेड्रन कैसा दिखता है? ये शेप रहता है। टेट्राहेड्रन के कॉर्नर पे मैंने एक प्रॉपर्टी, परफॉर्मेंस, प्रोसेसिंग और स्ट्रक्चर लिखा है, और उसके सेंटर पे जो है ना, सेंटर पे मैंने क्या लिखा है? कैरेक्टराइजेशन। अब ध्यान दो, कल हमने कुछ चीज पढ़ी थी, हीट ट्रीटमेंट। हीट ट्रीटमेंट क्यों करते हैं? टू चेंज द माइक्रोस्ट्रक्चर, ठीक है, एज पर आर नीड। इफ यू वांट टू चेंज द माइक्रोस्ट्रक्चर, व्हाट डू वी डू? हीट ट्रीटमेंट। तो हीट ट्रीटमेंट कम्स अंडर प्रोसेसिंग। किसके अंदर आता है? Processing. So if we are trying to process material, I hope your process, yeah, process material, you can see here. So one of the dimensions of tetrahedron, or one of the corners of tetrahedron, is processing, and processing is nothing but heat treating a material. And what do we do when we heat treat it? We get some kind of structural changes. Like if we heat treat, we change the material. Okay, we change the material properties. And how do we change the material property? By changing its structure. So you can see this part. There are two types of structure. I have already stated in yesterday's lecture. One is microstructure and another one is crystal structure. Just let me complete this chart for you. Yeah. Just look at this. One is microstructure, another is crystal structure. So microstructure changes, and when microstructure changes, the crystal structure changes. Okay. So this comes under this dimension, this part, this side of the tetrahedron. You can see the one side is processing, another side is structure. Third, whenever there is structural changes, why do we intend to make a structural changes? Because we want to change the property of the material, or we want to enhance the property of the material. Change is not a right word, appropriate word. Enhance the property of material. So one of the corner you can see of tetrahedron is what? Property. And when processing is done, structural changes are happening, and there is a change in or enhance in property, what do we get? We get better performance of material as per our need. So one more part that you can see of the tetrahedron is what? Performance. You can see performance. Okay. And what does it do? All these things, matlab structure, processing, then structural changes, then property changes. Structure mein there can be microstructural changes, crystal structural changes, which leads to enhancement of property or better performance of the material. This leads to, this is the way we characterize a material. Okay, this is the way we characterize a material. All these things contribute to the characteristics, better characteristics, or how do we define the material. Okay, so this is one of the important thing of material technology, which is called tetrahedron. Okay, material tetrahedron. So you should know what are the dimensions, what are the four corners of material tetrahedron. Can anyone repeat it for me? I will like to unmute everyone. Can anyone let me know what are the corners of tetrahedron? What are the corners for him?
Processing, performance, properties, and structure.
Very nice. And how does it impact? It impacts the characteristics of the
Characteristics of material.
Very nice. Very nice. So we can proceed. I'm just going to stop. Just give me a second. Please mute yourself. Yeah. 1 second. I'm just going to stop. I will not take you much time. Yeah. Next, I wanted to start with this, but we will introduce it in the next lecture. I will just put my screen somewhere. Introduction to crystal. Matlab we have completed with material. We have generally classified metal. You can even classify a non-metal, polymer as per your need. But since I wanted to generally classify material, I have classified the material. Now you can look at crystals. So if you want to understand crystal, these are the 6 things that you should know before starting with the second part of this module. That is crystal. Then after crystal, what you will learn is crystal defect. So if you want to learn crystal, first you should know what do you mean by a crystal, then what do you mean by a lattice, then what do you mean by a motif. This is a new word for you, but you will understand it as we continue with the lecture. Second is what are the different types of crystal system. There are 7 types of crystal systems. You have heard about HCC, SCP, BCC. Tetrahedron is also one class. So in this way, there are 7 general classifications of crystal system. Then there are 14 lattices system, which are called Bravais lattices. Why are they called Bravais lattices? But because this lattice system was given by Bravais. What do you understand by lattice? We will conclude it in the next lecture. Then you will learn about Miller indices. I think you have studied all of this thing in physics also earlier, if I am not wrong. Have you learned about all this thing in physics, guys?
Sir.
Yes. So I think you will be
Yes,
able,
sir.
so you will be
Yes,
able to
sir.
give the presentation tomorrow.
Okay.
Really, you want to give the presentation, or should I continue for the last lecture for tomorrow? After that, I'll not be taking the lecture. That is what I'm saying. I'll continue. You can give the presentation to the next professor, your HOD, afterwards. Okay? Chalo. Are we done with the lecture? Any doubt? Let me know in the chat screen. Can we move? Okay. Chalo. Assalamu alaikum. Have a nice time. Enjoy your lectures. Just give me a second to stop this thing.